This one. Home now. Yesterday we tried a couple places, not so much luck at the thrift stores so much as we found stuff at the antique stores. So at the antique stores you're willing to find vendors who are willing to strike up more deals with you. We were able to come across these sterling silver rings, and when you buy additional ones, you can always ask them for a bargain. So we, instead of paying $6 a piece, we ended up getting them for $4 a piece, and there's about an ounce of silver here. So we're going to come up on top, and they've got a little design on them, but they can be pried off, and then we're going to get these melted.
All right, so Kathleen had a bunch of her jewelry that's silver. We had to go through, make sure it was actually really silver, not silver plated, so that 0.925 sterling silver. We had to also go through and pry off a lot of the gemstones, the beads, all sorts of odd and end things. Here's some of the cubic zirconia and I'm pretty sure glass beads or gems, but we took them off. Kathleen found these rings yesterday, so you can see it has you know, this little bead in there, so we're going to try to take that off really quick before we melt it, and then we'll weigh up our silver to show how much total we have, and that way we can kind of compare as we start melting down some small bars. So these were pretty easy to get off. Just pop off that one. It's missing the bead already, so there you go. You can see the 0.925 in there. So we'll throw that in there. Already took two off, so that leaves just this little guy. And I hope it's okay that it's a cross that we're taking these off.
We're saving the cross, right?
It's sterling silver, so I was going to melt it. So these beads are a little hard to get to, but I think they were just used as adhesives, and well, the bead just shot off, but it's off. So now we got less waste. Some of this still has some black things, so the silver is going to be a little bit dirty. We're not using any acids. We're going to just do like a borax mix with silica, and I think the other was sodium carbide. So now let's weigh this up really quick just to see how much silver we start with. So we have it in ounces. So we'll start with these rings. So just over an ounce there. Look at that. All right, so roughly 5.69 ounces. Oh, I guess we could go to troy ounces. 5.18 ounces troy. So in grams, that's 161.35. We probably should write this down. Okay. But there we go. So let's take this outside and see what we can do. We've never melted stuff before, so this should be fun. All right, so we're out here in our garage. We have the Quick Kiln Deluxe Kit 2. Now, make sure you can see this. The kit came with a pre-mixture that we're going to use here for melting flux. Now this is for silver and copper. There's a separate one for gold, which later on we'll play with gold at another time. But this one here is a combination of borax, sodium carbonate, and silica sand in here. So this is going to get everything to melt really nice. Now this is a small kit, so obviously all this silver is not going to fit in this little crucible. So we're going to have to do several times of this to add on. And we may actually have to break down some of this jewelry to fit a little bit better. We'll see as we get going. But first things first, we need to fire this up. And we're using this one, this little kiln's rated only for with propane, not the MAP gas. So that's important because a lot of people like MAP gas burns hotter, which I use it a lot in other things, but for this kiln, it's only recommended to use the regular propane, the blue bottles. So the kit comes with the 2 little torches that screw onto your propane. Comes of course with the kiln. Handy dandy little tongs here. Now they recommended to bend these more to closer 90 degree. It was like a more gradual angle, so I already did that. It just makes it a lot easier to grab down in here and pull it out. So we'll let the kiln heat up here and get nice and hot before we get started. Alright, so we've had this running for quite a while here, getting nice and hot. So we need to first, we put some of our silver in, and you can't overfill these because then it'll just bubble out and make a whole mess. Hopefully I don't have it too filled up, but here's some of the powder. I'm not going to put all this in there, but I'll put quite a bit there. And again, this is the borax, sodium carbonate, and silica sand. So we'll see how this does. If it starts to melt down, maybe we'll add some more silver in there. Unsure how much to put in at one time. So we've never done this before. Just put it out there. If we're doing it wrong, tell us, make fun of us, whatever.
It's a learning day.
Learning experience. Having fun.
Science Sunday.
Science Sunday with the Wandering Buffaloes. We'll try not to kill ourselves. Alright, let's take a look here. I think it's done. That's the flux. Yeah, that's the I think this next batch is ready. We got our mold all heated. I don't know if we'll have an ounce there, but because we had a mix-up. We'll have to show everybody a little bit later.
What's that splashy stuff? Is that the flux?
Hopefully it's just the flux and not silver that popped out. If not, we can scrape it off and put it back in. So, right here, when we first started melting, it wasn't one of the torches wasn't working right. It wasn't blowing enough flame out, so that was a big problem. And then when we took it out, it was all this clump and it wouldn't melt. It was weird. We could see silver. So as I put this back in and we started to melt it again, everything melted but this. What we thought we got this, Kathleen got it years ago at one of those little trade shows where they cut your jewelry to length for you, and they said it was sterling silver. Well, I think not. I think it's got to be steel or something, maybe coated in silver, but it wouldn't melt, so we took it out, and right here is everything else. It looks like I splashed some silver maybe and flux out, but we'll recover that later. But that was interesting to find out, and we screwed up. Oh well, live and learn, right? So let's knock this bad boy out without breaking it. Yeah, that didn't pour well at all. May have to remelt that one. It's like not even a...
Oh no, it didn't, did it?
We'll knock the flux off, take a better look.
Yeah.
Okay. Bring our little...
Looks like some of the silver splashed out too.
Yep, it sure did. We're learning.
Yeah.
We'll let that stuff start melting. Hopefully it's silver. It said it was, but... So this has been in there for a while and it hasn't melted. Obviously they lied. It is not silver.
We got ripped off at the
In Mexico, not silver. Mark .925, but not silver. Buyer beware. So we're going to remelt that bar we just poured since it poured very poorly. Here we go. Put that little guy back. Get warm.
It's like a meatloaf, doesn't it? Get better molds.
Yep.
So our last step after we made this beautiful bar is to put it in this rock tumbler. Now we picked this rock tumbler up, pretty inexpensive. Not a really big one, but I think we went to Harbor Freight for this.
Harbor Freight, yeah. So we're gonna tumble and polish it this way. There is a coating on there, so I'm curious if we're gonna have to soak this in vinegar afterwards, but we'll see, because it's like got this yellow, probably from just the mix of borax and sodium chloride and other stuff. But we have steel little balls for the polishing aspect. It's recommended, so we're going to dump, it's about a pound of them, so we'll dump those in there. Got our little silver bar, throw that in there. Then they always say to add water to cover everything up.
Just enough to cover it?
A little more, yeah.
A little bit more?
Yep. Now we don't have Shine Bright, so this is why we're using water and some dishwasher soap like Dawn, or we have another brand. So we'll just add a little bit in there and see.
Does it matter what kind?
I don't know. We'll find out. All right, so got the little rubber seal here to hold in so water don't leak out. So put the lid on. Then we have our little cap, washer, and a little nut on top to hold it all in, hopefully. So they say about an hour or so. We'll see what happens.
Can I do the honors?
Yep, do the honors.
All right. And there we go.
There you go. So stay here and watch for 1 hour of the rock tumbler polishing our silver bar. You have 1 hour. Alright, so we're done with the tumbler. So we can open that up. So we threw both bars in there. We did sand them just because they still had some scales on them. Oops.
Pretty, shiny.
So dry them off. Alright, so here's our two silver bars. So let's weigh them. First one. So that one is 0.845 troy ounces. Grams, 26.27 grams. Now for the other one. Should be smaller, 23 grams on the spot, which 0.739. So we basically have 1.5 troy ounce bars. And just because I like measuring in grams, oops, 49.29. Alright, well, this we thought was silver because it was marked 0.925.
It was a bunch of junk.
This here is hard to see probably out in the garage where we were melting. But this was Kathleen bought it. I think it was one of those trade shows where you can buy the strands, and they said, oh, this is sterling silver. No, it's not. And then, of course, the infamous necklace that was bought in Mexico. It was really pretty. But
I never wore it. It was too clunky.
It was .925 marked all over it. No, it's not. As you can see, none of this melted like the silver did. So,
get a picture.
Oh, we will. But I want to weigh all this stuff that was not silver. And I think we lost a few pieces out in the garage because, well, we were mad. But this way we can figure out how much we really had of silver that we melted and understand maybe how much we lost. So we'll go to troy ounces. 0.960. So we started, we thought, with 5.188 troy ounces. Let me see if I can do my math really quick. So, supposedly, and granted we lost some, we threw some of this junk silver, or junk jewelry out in the garage and left it out there. But we should have had close to 2 ounces of silver, and when we melted, 1.585 ounces is what we're left with. So we're missing about a ½ ounce, but it could have been a combination from the bad jewelry that we threw out there because we're mad, and obviously some of the loss from melting the silver. But not for our first time, we learned a lot. What do you say, Kathleen?
Yep. We'll do better next time.
But it's still cool.
Now we know what to do with our gold.
Yeah, see, we'll do a video, see how bad we mess that up.
No, we're not messing up on the gold.
But there it is. Wandering Buffaloes. First time ever melting anything. Made 2 little silver bars
out of junk jewelry.
So pretty cool. So we're going to continue to practice and learn more about this and start researching and understanding how to do this a little bit better. And yep, just kind of keep practicing and learning as we go. So we hope you enjoyed it.
If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe.